Oh, Lordy.
Well, welcome in, everyone, to Tiger Talk here live at Melvyn's Restaurant. I'm Stewart Shelby, alongside Neville head football coach Mike Collins, and the inaugural Tiger Talk with Mike Collins. and we've got a good crowd, as we always do here at Melvyn's Restaurant. We're happy to be back on the air for another season of Neville Tiger football. And, Coach, not your first time on Tiger Talk. But,
Not my first one.
But we're glad to have you here, and we've got a lot of stuff to get to. But first up, the first quarter of tonight's Tiger Talk is sponsored by our good friends at Shell Chiropractic. That's Gigi Grant and his team over there at Shell. Brett Brujo over there as well. I mean, and they can take care of you, get you straightened out if you need straightened out. Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably a couple of players you'd like to send over there to get straightened out every now and again. Yeah. But well, Coach, it's been an interesting year as we start this year off leading up to here. But here we are. We're ready for week one. You got Evangel coming up. We'll talk about that. The Eagles later on in the contest. But a good summer. The kids worked out. I heard you had a record turnout there in the weight room this year.
We did, Stuart. And, that's the thing. That's another reason why, we're going to have Coach Herndon on here in a little bit. I think that's, the biggest part of our success is the way we work in the summer, lead up to a season, and the preparation, the spring preparation, the summer preparation that he puts in with our players, and the discipline that's instilled in our players at that particular time, are things that carry us through the season. And, I thought it was very important for him to be on here tonight with us and, talk about that a little bit. And because I think our players have tremendous respect for what he does and how their body has changed since they've been a freshman and sophomore and a junior and a senior, and just the growth of each one of those players. And I think, it's important for our people to understand that as well. So therefore that's why we have him on here tonight.
He does a great job. He's been here for a long time. Let's quickly get into, a lot of new coaches, a lot of new faces on the coaching staff this year. Maybe go through a couple of those new faces that not everybody's seen or heard.
We're, extremely blessed to have the young men coaching with me that we do. Obviously, Glenn Hunt is our run game coordinator. Andy Robinson came over as the head coach at St. Frederick's. He's our wide receiver, and he's our pass game coordinator. Stephen Inspinger actually was at Ruston for a state championship run and then had gone to Zachary, and so we hired him from Zachary to coach our quarterbacks. Chad Johnson moves to the tight ends. Leonard Caesar coaches our running backs. A Neville grad. Excited to have Leonard, as part of our offensive staff. And then on defense, Reagan Wise, part of a state championship team in 2009, as our defensive coordinator. Courtney Wallace, part of several state championship teams, coaches our D-line. Chris Campbell coached in the state championship teams. And then John K. Lawrence coaches our linebackers, and he also is on state championship at Neville High School. And so, excited to have a different variety of ages all the way up through and different ideas. I think the one thing that our guys have done a really good job of is, putting it all together. And when they come out of the room, it's all one thing, and we're fighting for the same cause. And, nobody's, too egotistical not to, hey man, look, you got a great idea, let's see what it is. And I think that's been the biggest thing for them and our players as well, is the ability to be able to mesh it all together.
Well, it's definitely coming together. It's going to be a great season. It all got kicked off last Saturday night as the Tigers returned to the Bayou Jamb after a couple-year hiatus, and we face the first game out of the gate. We've got
for them and our players as well, is the ability to be able to mesh it all together.
Well, it's definitely coming together. It's going to be a great season. It all got kicked off last Saturday night as the Tigers returned to the Bayou Jamb after a couple-year hiatus, and we face the first game out of the gate. We've got a young quarterback. a new coaching staff, for a lot of new faces, and we get the defending state champs in the Ruston Bears.
Maintain your composure and fight through them, and I think that was the important thing that we did. We maintained our composure, and we fought and fought and fought and took the lead, and then then they returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So something else that we've got to get corrected, and and I think that's all the things that help you as a coach, help your team.
Yeah.
From that first game to that next game.
Well, you have the jamboree, like you said, the first time really with live officials. You had a scrimmage earlier, went over to Bossier to Airline High School and battled out with Airline and Northwood in kind of a three-team little controlled scrimmage,
right,
if you will. Had a little bit of live time up there, but at the end of the day, it's really all you can do.
That's right.
I mean, you
That's
don't
it.
have 5
Limited,
preseason
no.
games like the NFL
No.
that you can figure out
No.
who's what. You've got a lot of kids still on that roster, and a lot of decisions to be made. You've got a lot of returning guys and a few new guys in a few spots that we'll talk about here later on in the broadcast. But for right now, I think the people that have come here, they want to see some highlights. That's what this thing's about. So let's get to those highlights from last Saturday night at Malone Stadium. The first one, you talked about that opening deal. Ruston is up 7-0 after an early turnover.
Right.
And they ran in for a touchdown on the interception. But right on that next deal, you see this. You don't see this very often. A defensive lineman outrunning everybody as Jason Parker took it 82 yards.
Jason is a really, really good athlete, and the thing I was most proud of is the fact that he held on to the football while the guy was trying to strip him from behind. And, that's ball security. And, we do work that in August camp with the D lineman, O lineman, everybody, fumble recovery. We work takeaways. And, proud of him being able to hang on to the ball because you just don't see that a lot. Normally they get stripped and the ball's going to be on the ground. They're going to get the ball back. But he did a really good job there. And obviously it takes a lot of people for that play to happen and for him to be able to be successful with it. And
big hit, popped the ball out. He was there, Johnny on the spot, and then took it to the house. That tied it up at 7-7. And then this is a name you're going to hear a lot this year. He has a great tackle for a loss here near the goal line. He
did right down here on the goal line. Cam's got the wide out there man-to-man, and Jaden's got the tight end. Tight end blocks. He blocks out on Cam, and, Jaden's supposed to fill it, and he does. He does exactly what he's coached to do right there. And, I think that's the thing that you talk to your players about also. We're going to try to get you in as many situations as we can to be successful, and then it's about you completing the play. And, we can't get out there and do the tackling for you or the blocking for you, but, as a player, then you got to trust what we're doing and go out there and execute the plan.
Well, you go into halftime, it's 14-7, but it was a hard-fought first half of play there at the Bayou Jamb. A couple of defensive touchdowns. Ruston does what Ruston does. They run the football. They went into that power eye. They got the big quarterback. They have a nice long drive and scored right there towards the end of that half. And what are you telling your guys at halftime in that situation?
Well, first of all, we had to go make some corrections and get ourselves lined up on certain formations. It's just recollection for our players. Situations that we work. Hey, we're going to play it like this now. Just depending on where was the fullback, and you got to go over there and make those corrections, and we did that on defense, and then offensively, went over there and talked about what they were doing, how they were doing it, and what's going to help us be successful. And so and I think in the second half we really
definitely
did a great job, and we executed what we were trying to do, and defensively for the most part all night long, we really did a nice job. And at times offensively we did some good things, and we were able to get the ball down there and get it in the end zone, and then get the 2-point conversion. And I think all those things go hand in hand, and it's about adjustments. And at halftime you got to be able to our players have been through a lot of different situations, and that's why we do them. And we try to teach them how to combat defensively what they're doing offensively and what our best alignment is. And so we may have to tweak an alignment, but it's something that we've already done.
Yeah.
And so, if they, the recall by our players was really, really good, especially defensively, on what we wanted to try to do against what they were doing.
Well, you come out at halftime. Let's talk about some of that defense. You start off with a big defensive play. This was one that was maybe a little bit controversial, and we'll show it to you one more time.
Yeah, well, thank you.
There's
Appreciate
that fumble.
That's just what I want to look at.
Yeah, turn around. It goes to the 6. It was ultimately overturned from all of our angles. It looked like it was a ball out. They said it was like the forward pitch. You can make the call, but either way.
I can tell you what it was. It was a handoff and it was a fumble. That's what it was. It wasn't no forward pitch to it, nothing else. And, I called the head of the officials the next morning because I do know him. And I asked him, I said, okay, 2 things I want to know. I want to know what it was. And my main concern was when the ball was set ready for play and the chains were moved, how did they go about getting it all back together because we don't have instant replay. So that was my question. I mean, I knew it was a fumble. I mean, you could watch it on film, tell it was a fumble. He did too. And I mean, hey, look, they're human too. They're gonna, they made a mistake and
a jamboree for everybody.
Yeah,
All right. So you end up getting there, and then here's you talk about special teams. Your punt coverage team right here picks up after the bad snap.
Well, here's what we do defensively. There's one thing that we do. We're in punt safe right here, okay? And those D linemen, their job in punt safe is to go rush the punter as hard as they can, all right? And then we'll play safe with everybody else. Yeah. And this is exactly why we work it, just for occasions like what happened in the ball game when the ball gets snapped over his head. You want to be rushing hard, and then you have an opportunity to get the fumble. Well, just so happened Robert saw it as well, Robert Graves, and he went and ran it down as the D lineman. He just passed all them up, So, I mean, good play on Robert's part, but
you get good field position.
That's right.
After that, right there, a nice defensive stop for you, force the errant punt, or at least the miscue on the punt by the Ruston punt team. And then Parker Robinson, the sophomore quarterback, comes in there, gets pressure, and then dumps this one off. A nice play, nice grab there by Nichols across the middle.
Right. And I'll say this about both the young men. Number one, Parker ran for his life pretty much all night. And they're very good up front, and they did some things to mix it up, match it up, but Jalen made a really, really nice catch there. We'll talk about him here in a second as well. And ran very, very hard in there and very physical, and that's the Jalen Nichols that we all know and that we love to watch run the football. And obviously he was our player of the game on offense in the game as well, glad to see him catch the ball out of the backfield because that just makes it that much more dangerous.
Leads up to this next play you come up, your drive kind of stalls. This is a 4th down play, and then there's the wheel and a nice pass and a nice catch for a touchdown, and that gets you potentially to tie the ball game up. It makes it 14-13.
And I told our guys whenever we were down there, when we score. I didn't say if we score. I said when we score, we're going for 2.
And you do,
any doubt about it. And
here's that 2-point conversion play right here.
So, and well executed. We had worked it in practice. Obviously you can tell we did, but that well executed. Our offense did a really, really good job. And again, get the ball in the guys' hands that can make plays for us. And we've got several of those on offense, and we've got to get it in some other guys' hands, on offense as well, that really can make plays for us. And so that was my message after the game and to our team Sunday is, hey, we're going to get the ball in the guys' hands that can make the plays. And defensively, we're going to play fast and we're going to play physical, and that's just what we do, and that's going to lead to our success. And So
you talk about that. I mean, we talked about the punt return again. The kickoff return that Aiden Anding, who everything safety for Ruston, had a heck of a game. Made a beautiful interception on a well-thrown ball.
It was.
And they had the pick six, and then he returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and that makes it. You get the lead on that 2-point conversion, 15-14. He takes it back.
Yep.
So you get the football back with a little time on the clock, trying to go down as time was running down, make it happen. Here's a nice play as Parker hits Thomas Campbell for a first down here.
Really nice play by Thomas, and that's another person that has to get the ball more than we're able to get it to him last Saturday, but really nice catch by Thomas. Pump the tunnel screen over there and throw Thomas on the rail up the sideline. And again, nice throw, nice catch, good protection. It takes everything. It takes everybody on the field. We talk about Anding's interception, the second one. Well, we had a miscue on that, and that led to the interception. So way too much credit's given, way too much non-credit's given to the guys that, it takes all 11 on defense. It takes for Cam Riley to intercept a ball. It takes 10 guys to do their job, and then Cam. Okay, I'm just using Cam as an example because he's in the audience. We're going to talk to Cam tonight.
Yeah, we are.
It's just like Thomas. It takes 10 guys on offense to do the right thing, quarterback to deliver the ball to Thomas for us to be successful. And so it takes what you call a team, and that's why they call it a team game, and it takes everybody to do their job. And do their job well.
It definitely does. We got one more highlight to show you. This is Jalen Nichols on that drive with a nice run here to get you across the 50.
Yeah, and like I say, I mean, we know what kind of back he can be, and
how he finished.
Yeah,
right
he
there.
just shows it, and of course, again, you got to have O-line protection. Probably 2 or 3 wideouts had to be involved in that to get him sprung loose. So. Again, it just goes back to the same old thing, It's a team game, and for one person to be successful, it takes 10 other guys to do their job right. And, I think that's the important thing that our team has to remember is that it takes everybody out there on the field to get the job done.
A lot of lessons learned by the Tigers there in that jamboree. It all starts for real this Friday night over in West Shreveport as the Tigers travel to take on the Evangel Eagles. We'll talk more about that in our final segment tonight, but that's going to wrap up here our first segment. We appreciate Dr. Gigi Grant and his team over there at Shell Chiropractic for being the sponsor of this segment. So, Coach, I'm gonna let you go eat a little bit, and we're going to bring another coach in here. Next segment, it'll be the Neville head strength coach, Eric Herndon, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back with more Tiger Talk right after this.
Do you suffer from frequent back or neck pain? Were you in an accident and can't get rid of those constant aches? Maybe you're someone who deals with chronic migraines and tension headaches. It might be time to see how Martinez Chiropractic can help you. The goal of Martinez Chiropractic is to reduce or eliminate pain in just a few sessions using the latest in chiropractic technology. Don't suffer in pain another day. Call Martinez Chiropractic today at 318-654-4310 or see them in person, 1828 Tower Drive in Monroe.
An experienced team to navigate your buying and selling decisions. I'm Misty Hodge with Keller Williams Realty. Let my group use their combined 45 years. We know purchasing or selling a home can be a stressful experience, but not when you choose the Misty Hodge Group. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, give us a call. 318-348-5945 or go to mistyhodge.com. That's MISTIHAJJ.com. We support this community, and go Tigers.
I'm Dr. Scott Shelby with Family Solutions. When you hear the words Family Solutions, you may not know that we're a comprehensive, strength-based counseling and psychiatric clinic. Family Solutions provides psychiatric care, individual and couples therapy, child and adolescent counseling, psychological testing, medication management. We also provide occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and ABA therapy in one convenient location. For more information on how we can help your family today, visit FamilySolutionsCounseling.org.
For 20 years, I've treated the local community as well as young to professional athletes, keeping them healthy and on the field. If you've ever thought about seeing a chiropractor or had neck pain, low back pain, or headaches, Call Shell Chiropractic. See if me and my team can help you.
Welcome to the Carpenter Health Network, where we can provide you with all your home health needs, promoting independent and healthy living at home with Stat Home Health.
Where advanced illness management is our specialty. Let us help you recover from your injuries, illnesses, and surgeries with our dedicated team of healthcare.
Where we strive to make every day a good day at St. Joseph Hospice.
When it comes to quality care, it's always a touchdown with the Carpenter Health Network. We
We are the network.
Lily Joyce, Neville class of 2024. I drive a Nissan Rogue from Sparks. Go Tigers.
Vincent Ware, class of 2000, Sparks Nissan and Kia sales, Maxima driver. Go Tigers.
Kenya Dawson Bennett, Neville High School, class of 1993. I'm a proud Nissan Murano owner from Sparks Nissan. Go Tigers!
Our team knows the winning combination is always Neville Nation and Sparks Nissan Kia. Join the team today. Remember, hot deals start with Sparks.
You were an entrepreneur before you knew what an entrepreneur was. The boss of every stuffed animal in the toy box. The kid who had strategy and passion from day one. You ran a lemonade stand that actually turned a profit. Every day, Origin helps people like you who've always had the vision to see the full potential of any idea and make it happen. Connecting people to their dreams is our passion. Every great relationship has an origin story. Start yours today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to segment number 2 here on Tiger Talk. We're live at Melvin's Restaurant, as we are every Wednesday during football season from 6:30 to 7:30. And you come out and join us and see Melvyn and Di and their team, Annie, and the rest of the crew. They'll take some good care of you and put some good food in your belly. All right, this next segment is brought to you by our good friends at H. Michaels Sports. And H. Michaels does a lot for not only the Neville Tigers but also teams around the area. So for all your team needs, as well as your digital printing, sporting goods, everything you need, go see Holly and Eric and the team and get your stuff down there local on Forsyth Avenue with H. Michaels Sports. We've shopped there a couple times.
Yes.
Yes.
Frequent flyer.
All right, we switched out the coach's seat, and now we're joined by Neville head strength and conditioning coach Eric Herndon, and you recognize him. Eric's been on a lot throughout the years and has been at Neville forever, and another year in the books, at least another summer in the books. And let's talk about that summer. I mean, I know it was maybe, I don't know if it's a record-setting summer, but it was definitely a lot of guys. That 30 for 30, 31 for 31, I don't know how many it was this year, but that club, they said a lot of guys had some success for you this summer.
Yeah, some real well. We I think we finished up with right at 56 kids that were 30 for 30, which is the most I've ever had. And it's a testament to how hard they worked all the way through everything. I mean, you start with the construction that's going on at the school, with the track. I mean, every week it's okay, they're fixing to be out here doing this. So we moved a lot of different locations from Forsyth Park to the levee to our practice fields, our grass fields, back on the turf and everything else. But, I mean, you can't say enough about a kid that sacrifices their whole summer. You know, just a few days off here and there, and hopefully it shows up for them starting Friday night.
Well, you go into that, you do all that for these Friday nights. You got about 15 Friday nights that you're trying to get through. That's the goal at the end of the year.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really start during the summer. I mean, if you're really doing the math and you're looking at it, and when you backwards plan of what you're trying to do, whenever you finish up your season, which you hope it's in December, and they get a couple weeks off, and they start back up in January, and you go and you'll get a couple 4-week cycles in, and next thing you know, you get to the summer, and that's usually after spring football, which is good because it gives them time to see the work that they've put in, in the first few months of the off season, get out there, let the coaches evaluate them, and then kind of see what they need to work on during the summer, and really put the finishing touches on the body of work that they've put in. And again, for a kid to sacrifice that much every day, and, you talked about record setting. I mean, the temperatures alone, it's hot. Yeah. I mean, it's long. We ask a lot of them. and they keep on coming back for more and more and more. And, you know, the example you try to give them is like, look, you do all this work for, you know, basically 8 months, 9 months to get ready for 3.5, 4 month season. It's almost like, you know, a child's being born. Like you're carrying you're doing all this work to get players prepared to get them going. And the thing that you learn is the only thing that's going to get them ready to play football is to play football. I mean, you can't train to, okay, I want you to take off running as fast as you can, then run into that wall and fall down and get back up and go do it again. But there's a lot of transition from you're trying to get them ready from off season to going to preseason, and then you get to in season. And I hate to use the word maintain because we're not trying to maintain. I mean, whenever our last ball game comes, we want to be our biggest and fastest and strongest that we can possibly be, and keep them healthy and keep them on the field.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, you said, what was it, 56 guys in the 30 for 30 club. I know that's always a goal for everybody starting this summer program, but that's more than half of the football team. And it not only does it translate for the guys that you'll see that we talk about here on these highlight films and everything else. There's, you know, 90 plus guys dressed out between JV and varsity. You utilize those guys. You got to keep those guys, even, you know, from scout team to your twos, your threes, and to be able to practice within this heat and for the duration of a season to keep everybody healthy is not just keeping the 22 to 30 guys that are getting a lot of the bulk of the reps. It's everybody on that team needs to stay healthy.
And it's a big responsibility. I mean, to keep them in the position that they need to be in to stay healthy. But, again, you're talking about, you know, your sophomores through your seniors that made those reps. But we've got another, I think I got right at 58 freshmen on our roster right now, and they were there. We're a little bit more lenient coming in, but they were there. So we had large groups of kids coming in, and when you're running, you know, close to 150 kids there 4 days a week, it's a lot. But, I mean, it's fun, and you see the development from when they're a freshman to where they get to where they're a senior, and how their bodies change. And, you know, you can't – there's no way to determine what a kid's going to be like when they're a freshman. I mean, they come through the door – they might be a late bloomer or something else. And being in the weight room compared to being in the classroom is you get, you know, sometimes it's immediate gratification of what they see. Like they're struggling with a weight. You can make one little coaching cue here or there, turn your heels, you know, pull your toes to you, roll your wrist or whatever, and the next thing you know, they have immediate success. So it's pretty gratifying to see them. And especially, you know, when you've got a kid that comes in as a freshman and he may not be a starter, and he keeps on working, and he learns work ethic, and he learns toughness, and he develops an edge about him, and, you know, he's really getting prepared for life. And that's something we try to remind him of every day, that, you know, football's one of the last few sports where there's a lot of parallels to the way that you live. I mean, some days you're going to get knocked down, but you got to find a way to get up and keep on going and keep on persevering. So
and a lot of these kids do, and you can tell. You know, you watch the kids come through this program, and you're about to have one.
He's got a lot of growing to do too. I think he's watching right now. And he needs to be eating something.
But you see that growth from the time that they're freshmen, and there's a huge. Maybe people take it for granted, but I mean, when you see a kid that comes in at 15 or 14. Sometimes 13 as a freshman. And then they get to that 17, 18, sometimes 19 years old. But that 4-year progression as these kids are growing up, if they're not doing anything, I mean, you can tell. But if they are, you can tell even more.
Well, it's good because, I mean, you follow a program. I mean, every kid is going to start at one spot, but, you know, freshmen are going to do – sophomores will do more. Once you get to, you know, their junior and senior year, it's going to be a little bit different. And, you know, you always try to follow that strategy of simple to complex. Once you've mastered doing this, okay, well, you know, we're the house, so we're going to win.
Yeah.
We're going to challenge you to do this. And if you get good at that, then we're going to load your wagon up with something else and keep on going. But it's fun. I've got a really good job. I'm really fortunate to be able to work in the weight room, to work at Neville High School, to work with a staff of coaches that understand the importance of the weight room and, you know, put a value on it. So
Talk about that staff a little bit, as we kind of get in this segment here. Let's talk about the guys that you have in that weight room with you. It's not just an Eric Herndon show. I know you'd never say that, but I mean those guys that are assisting you definitely put in some time and work as well.
Well, the biggest help that I've had is John K. Lawrence. We were blessed to receive him, to get him to come to us. He was working at ULM and was thought he was going to be a physical therapist, and we had a conversation. He called kind of out of the blue and said, look, I've been interning at ULM, and I really think I want to work in the weight room. I was like, well, let's sit and talk in person, and if you know John Cade, he's as humble as the day is long, and, he came in and is really just a great asset to be able to help in there. I mean, I would trust him if I have to be gone to do anything. I mean, he's a very good strength coach. He's a very good coach, which means he's good. And that's why he's valued by not just me and Coach Collins, but also Coach McCarty across the street in the classroom and everything else. I think the kids respect him because he is a product of Neville, and they see Neville in him, which you get talking about our staff, just the guys that do work in the weight room. I mean, I don't want to list the names of guys that are Neville graduates because I don't want to leave one off. But, I mean, Coach Caesar's in there, Coach Wallace is in there, Coach Campbell's in there, Jaden Cole's in there. I mean, you just go through a list of people that there's a reason my beard's gray because those same guys have come through the weight room and they've seen what it's done for them. And they've walked that mile to kind of see and they know the benefit of it, and they do a good job. So, no, it's never – just me. I mean, the best assistant I had was Coach Collins, but he took a different position. So, that kinds of things help.
Look, Coach, I mean, we've known each other a long time, and it's always good to catch up with you here on Tiger Talk. And congratulations on all the success that you've had up to this point. We look forward to many, many more years. All right, Eric Herndon, everybody, as we have hit our second break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of players, the captains from last week, Cam Riley and Thomas Campbell. Stay tuned for that with more Tiger Talk coming up right after this.
Mama DeLuca's pizzas are custom made, fresh to order right in front of you. We offer 3 different sizes of pizzas, 9, 12, or 14. Mama DeLuca's pizza is prepared to your order. The pizza cooks in less than 3 minutes. We have 16 different toppings to choose from, 8 unique sauces to complete your pizza. In addition to pizzas, we offer to our customers boneless wings with your choice of a dipping sauce. Mama DeLuca's Pizza offers delicious garlic Parmesan breadstick, freshly made to order pasta noodles. We're Mama DeLuca's Pizza in the Subway on Lammy Lane, and we hope to see you soon.
Call David's Mobile Detail and Power Wash for all your detailing and power washing needs and soft washing capabilities too. They detail cars, trucks, ATVs, UTVs, boats, and even planes. They offer commercial and residential hot water power washing on nearly all surfaces, including concrete, wood, and stucco. Give them a call, 547-3233, or visit them online at davidsmobiledetail.com or stop by 2501 Washington Street in Monroe. David's Mobile Detail and Wash, proud supporter of Neville Tiger football.
Whether you're dining in or grabbing to go, at Nukes, we love to share great food, to delight with new flavors, to celebrate every bite. Join us at Nukes Eatery.
Catherine Joyce, Neville High School class of 1998, Sparks customer. Go Tigers!
Amaya Dawson, Neville High School class of 2019, owner of a Nissan Sentra from Sparks Nissan. Go Tigers!
Will Shelby, class of 97, Sparks GM, Titan driver. Go Tigers!
Our team knows the winning combination is always Neville Nation and Sparks Nissan Kia. Join the team today. Remember, hot deals start with Sparks.
Hard work and dedication on and off the field leads to success. There is no one that works harder on your case than Christian Creed and his team. And no one knows the insurance company's playbook like he does. Christian is a licensed investigator and former claims adjuster, giving him the edge. His experience makes him familiar with techniques and strategies used by the insurance company. Call the right play with Creed and Creed at 387-5800. Remember, Creed and Creed is all you need.
For over 140 years, football has been America's favorite pastime. Jim Taylor Buick GMC understands the importance of keeping traditions alive. Cheers may change, Mascots may change. Rivalries may change. But one thing remains the same. The best seat at the game will always be the tailgate of a vehicle from Jim Taylor.
Come experience what we're all about at Jim Taylor Buick GMC in Monroe.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Imagine a world filled with love, laughter, and happiness. At the Tarver Braddock Foundation, we believe in the power of kindness. Inspired by Tarver's joyful spirit, we spread smiles through random acts of kindness. Join us in making the world a brighter place. Visit TarverBraddockFoundation.org to learn more and make a difference today. The Tarver Braddock Foundation. Share a smile, spread the love, and thank you for your support.
And welcome back, everybody, to Tiger Talk here. We're live at Melvin's Restaurant. Our third segment, sponsored by our good friends over there at Walk-Ons and Small Sliders in West Monroe. You guys have been to Walk-Ons before, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's definitely a good deal. We appreciate their sponsorship here of Tiger Talk. And we got a couple of coaches out of the way. Now we're getting to the meat of the broadcast as we bring in Cam Riley all the way to my left and Thomas Campbell. So, guys, welcome into Tiger Talk. Yep. couple of seniors, they get to get started here on Tiger Talk, the first ones. And guys, both of you have played got a lot of minutes over the past couple of years. And it's all led up to this senior year. I ask everybody that comes and sits next to me, all the players at least. I guess I'll start with you, Cam. This year, all the work, everything that you've done to prepare for this senior year, what are you most looking forward to here in 2024?
Oh, finishing all out with everyone that I came to Neville with, started off with. It's going to be fun to get out there and just finish and try to finish strong.
Try to finish strong.
Yeah.
And Thomas, it wasn't a few years ago you were playing guard and you moved to tight end, and here we are. You had a big catch last week. You started. It's fun to see you learn how to catch the ball last year. They started, or at least they figured out that you could catch it, and they started throwing it to you a little bit, huh?
It's fun to catch it.
It is fun. As far as going into this year, what are you most looking forward to on the football field?
Like Cam said, definitely just going far in the playoffs and stuff like that.
And stuff like that. Well, trying to get that deal. I'm going to move there. You get that microphone a little bit. So, trying to go far in the playoffs. And we talked to Coach Herndon earlier, right? Those summers. That's your last summer. Have y'all thought about that?
Yeah,
your last summer at Neville, sir. Is that a good thing that that's the last summer?
It kind of hit hard when I thought about it for a little bit.
Yeah. And both of y'all have the opportunity to go play at the next level. Cam, you're going to are currently committed to Lafayette, and Thomas, Nicholls State, right? So,
yes, sir.
The summers don't end, right? Y'all do understand what happens after this. But trying to put that kind of in the distance, y'all got business to tend to here. Cam, I'll start with you. You've been playing in that defensive backfield. A lot of people are touting our defensive backfield as being one of the best in the state. And you've got a couple of buddies that have been playing with you and maybe a couple of new faces back there. Why don't you talk a little bit about the guys that are playing in that backfield with you?
Oh, it's really fun playing with all those guys. Well, we've really been on the field for it's going to be our second year really all together on the field. Jay Reed, he just now really starting to, get back there with us, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Got Bryson Robinson. He gets to come in, dollar package. Juju, good player. Rob, good player. Richard White. And we have a lot of corners also that we can rotate in. Really at every position we have a lot of depth that we can just – go with. Not even at just the defensive back, the D-line, linebackers, all those positions too.
You got a pick last week, right?
Yes,
yeah, you did. And so you kind of you got a nose for the football. You know, is that kind of I ask every defensive back that comes on here, would you rather get you a pick and make some moves, or would you rather throw a shoulder in somebody?
For me, probably a pick.
Well, I mean, that's the good part of that. I mean, the picks come in there. Well, Cam's also a talented baseball player. He's looking to play both sports there at UL. All right, Thomas, so you're a big guy.
Yes, sir.
You've been on that offensive line for a while. You moved to tight end, sophomore year?
Yes, sir.
And since then, you've progressed, and now you have an opportunity to play in college. I mean, what do you kind of attribute that opportunity to? I know you work hard.
Can you say that again?
I said, what do you attribute, progression from when you were a sophomore to now, and now you get an opportunity to play in college? I know you worked hard at perfecting your craft, there at that tight end position is not that interior line. What do you think you've improved on the most in these last couple of years?
It definitely took a lot of hard work. I mean, I came from playing center, not knowing anything about running routes, catching the ball, and just straight blocking the whole time. And then, I mean, it just took, staying late after practice, just working with the coaches and getting better at anything I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it definitely has showed on the field. We get going, week one, Evangel. Both of you guys were around for that Mudfest a couple of years ago.
That was fun.
That was a fun one. It was one of the best pictures I'd seen from the locker room. There was not it was a great time to break out the white jerseys for that one. But they've got a new turf field over there. Did any of you watch? They got a new quarterback in Pop Houston that's over there. I'll talk to you, about that. You guys up for the challenge?
Definitely.
This Friday?
Definitely.
Ready?
Yep.
You're ready for it?
Sir.
And offensively, Evangel's kind of made some progress over the last couple of years, coming back out of a few, lower years, and they're working their way back up. Offensively, I'll talk to you, Thomas. I mean, you looking forward to going up against them and maybe making a statement here in week one?
100%.
100%. Well, that's where we go. You got to start at week one. The preseason's over. They start counting for real, and the Tigers are in a new district, moving up to 5A, back to the old days of 2-5A. I know back when your dad was playing, that's everybody that they had to play against and everything else. So looking forward to that at the back end of the season as opposed to the front. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, we look forward to seeing you guys do what y'all do on the football field here this year in 2024 for the Neville Tigers, and we look forward to all the success that you guys have come. All right, thanks for joining us here, everybody. Cam Riley, Thomas Campbell here on Tiger Talk, and we appreciate the round of applause. Okay, when we come back, we're going to bring back the coach, Mike Collins, to talk about those Evangel Eagles right after this break. Stay with us right here. It's Tiger Talk, live on the Neville Tiger Network and Sunday 98.3.
Sleepy Hollow Furniture and the Falk family proudly support our Neville Tigers. Just like the wide variety of athletics and academics Neville excels in, Sleepy Hollow offers your premium mattresses and adjustable bases, every kind of home furniture, and just in time for your favorite season, quality in-stock patio furniture ready for the big game. Come shop your Neville Tiger family at Sleepy Hollow Furniture.
At Marion State Bank, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and part of your community. With branches in Marion, Farmerville, Sterlington, Drew, and soon to be West Monroe, we're excited to be growing alongside you. Whether it's opening that first savings account, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Don't forget about MSB Mortgage in Monroe.
I'm Robert Lane.
And I'm Ben Jones with Marion State Bank.
And we live where you live.
Marion State Bank, member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
For 20 years, I've treated the local community as well as young to professional athletes, keeping them healthy and on the field. If you've ever thought about seeing a chiropractor, or had neck pain, low back pain, or headaches, call Shell Chiropractic. See if me and my team can help you.
I'm Dr. Bud Boudreaux, and here at Shell Chiropractic, we offer non-invasive spinal decompression. If you or a loved one suffer from bulging herniated discs, spinal stenosis, or even sciatic symptoms, I encourage you to give our office a call here at Shell Chiropractic.
Welcome to the Carpenter Health Network, where we can provide you with all your home health needs, promoting independent and healthy living at home with at-home help.
Where advanced illness management is our specialty. Let us help you recover from your injuries, illnesses, and surgeries with our dedicated team of healthcare professionals.
Where we strive to make every day a good day at St. Joseph Hospice.
When it comes to quality care, it's always a touchdown with the Carpenter Health Network. We
are the network.
I've known Christian and Catherine Creed my whole life. I've seen firsthand their dedication and drive to get the best possible results for their clients. So it was easy to say yes to partnering with Creed and Creed. Take it from a local guy. There's no better choice than Creed and Creed.
Thanks, Will. Just like Will works hard to protect his quarterback, our team will work hard for you in your case. If you've been injured in a car accident or big rig wreck, call 387-5800. Remember, is all you need.
At Jim Taylor Buick GMC, it's not about us, it's about you. We know getting the right ride can be tough, but that's what we're here for. That's why we are dedicated to finding you the right look, the right size, and the right feel, all at the right price.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you root for. What unites us is stronger than what divides us. Come experience what we're all about at Jim Taylor Buick GMC in Monroe.
We know you. You were the kid in the garage taking everything apart just to see how it worked. The teenager who stayed up late brainstorming and put it all in a business plan. You knew how to build a great team and then lead it. Origin helps entrepreneurs like you every day, from the corner of the garage to the corner office. Connecting people to their dreams is our passion. Every great relationship has an origin story. Start yours today.
All right, everybody, we've made it to segment number 4 here on Tiger Talk, and we talked to Coach Herndon. We had Cam and Thomas in here. Now we get Coach Collins back in here to talk about these Evangel Eagles. But before we get to Friday night's game, we did have some Origin Bank Players of the Week from last week. And, Coach, let's talk about those 2 young men that were selected Players of the Week on the offensive defensive side of the ball.
Well, Jalen Nichols was our offensive player of the week. He plays tailback for us and, had a really nice catch running the rail up the sideline there for the touchdown and had several nice runs, after contact, and that's the kind of player we think Jalen is. That's the kind of player we expect him to be every Friday night for us. And, we got to keep the guy healthy, and I think that's really important. But he can be a pass catcher out of the backfield, and he certainly is a great running back. So we need to keep him going. And then Jaden Reed's just really, come on the scene. He backed up Juju last year, so we moved him to a new position this year, and he's just kind of blossomed there and really doing a good job there. And, we got to have a guy that plays his position that can really tackle well. That's what he can do. He's one of the better tacklers that I've ever coached. I'm talking about my whole career. And 2 of them have been right here at Neville, and Marion Elam was the first one, and then now Jaden Reed, just tremendous tacklers. They always get people down, and he did a really nice job there and, in the game Saturday night.
High praise for the junior DB. All right, Coach, you saw week 1, I mean – if you've looked at the Tigers' schedule, it's not what you could call soft.
Well, it ain't soft, that's for sure.
It's not soft. No. We start off with the Evangel Eagles. Coach Duran and his crew have started to reassemble the teams of old there at Evangel.
I call it the band getting back together is what I call it, including the coaches. You know.
A couple of hard-fought contests over the past couple of years with the Eagles. It was the Mud Bowl a couple of years ago. Last year, if you remember, there in week 1, it was overtime. The Tigers were victorious 30-29. Evangel finished 7-5 last year, very low numbers-wise. That was kind of maybe the downfall of the Eagles, but what they struggled with. They've added to that depth that they have this year, and you saw that last Saturday night as they went to a slugfest with West Monroe for a couple of quarters.
Outstanding job by their quarterback. He just old Pop, he keeps it going. He's everything he's billed to be, and the one thing that we've talked to our players about with him is that he can make plays. We've got to make sure we keep him contained. We've got to make sure as a defensive back that we keep our eyes where they belong. And you never can take your eyes off your guy, because that's how they had so many explosive plays in the West Monroe game, is him scrambling around and their guys just losing their receiver, and they're running wide open right down the field. And so, that's what we've talked to our guys about. And then we've got to do a great job containing the quarterback. And, of course, he has some big targets. Nate Green to throw the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how tall Nate is. But he's tall. I can tell you that. We don't have it on their roster. Doesn't have his height on there. But, and then obviously they got a couple other guys. The little tailback is really, really fantastic. And he can make a lot of plays. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Really, really good football player. When he gets it, and when they do run it,
he's effective.
He's very, very effective. He's probably, 7-8 yards a carry, I would imagine.
Big guy. Well, he's bigger, 6'2", about a little over 200 pounds.
Well,
right?
he is, and then there's another one.
Okay, that's Lopez I'm talking about.
The little one is he also plays receiver as well, but he's quick as a cat, and I'm talking about he can make things happen.
Yeah.
For them. And then you go, and they got a very, very big offensive line, huge guys. And then they got the big offensive tackle that everybody in the world wants. He's a 5-star, and so Sanders is his last name.
Yeah.
And really, really good football player. But all in all, what do you expect? They got a good football team. We've got a good football team. We'll line up out there between the white lines, and we'll figure out who can come out of there victorious.
Well, I heard morning, and heaping nothing but praise for not only West Monroe last night, but also Neville. He's been in a couple of tight contests, and it sounded there's a lot of good coach speak going on over there. He's always shower you with praise, and he is, and Coach Duran is that type of guy.
He is. And he's a really fine man. Look, I've known him since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I watched him play at Louisiana Tech. Actually, my dad recruited him. And so I've known Denny for a long, long, long time. And obviously half his staff, a guy on his staff I worked for, he actually babysat me when I was a kid. He was a player. And then his son, I recruited his son, and his son played linebacker for me at ULM. And so great familiarity with their guys, their coaches. Coach Palmer, longtime friend of my dad's, and he's been coaching. I don't know how long Coach Palmer's been coaching. A long, long time. He coaching their offensive line, and they're well coached, big guys, and do a really, really good job. So, they're going to be well coached. Period. Yeah. And so are we. Yeah. And our guys have done a really, really good job of getting our players ready to go. I think that's what makes our schedule really interesting, is the fact that we play some really, really good teams. And, hey, that's the expectation. Yeah. Our expectation is to play for 15 weeks. So if you're going to play for 15 weeks, you're going to play some good football teams.
Well, you definitely do. The Tigers are on the road both in week 1 and week 2 before they get it home. It's a change from last year where we had 9 games in the friendly confines of Bill Ruppel Stadium. So we start with Evangel, then go to Southside before we're back home with Holmes County. And And St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas More.
Yeah, those guys. They're
they're not any good.
And then then we go to Sterlington.
Then we got Sterlington,
and we're not even talking. We haven't even got to district yet. That's just your first 5. We'll tease the district there in a minute. But Coach, let's talk about the keys to coming out on top against the Evangel Eagles. What do your guys got to do well, and what do you got to prevent?
Well, I think the number one thing that we have to do is control the football. I mean, the teams that control the football normally win ball games.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to win the turnover margin, we got to be able to manage the clock, and we got to manage the game. I think offensively that's our biggest keys, and defensively the key is to keep him contained, keep our eyes where they belong in the back end, and make him do something he doesn't want to do, and don't let him get his feet set to throw the football. And I think that's where, he's been able to be successful, is because he can get out of the pocket. And if he gets out of the pocket, then he's the most dangerous then. It's not necessarily when he's in there throwing the football. So, we got to do a really good job there, both rushing him and understanding how to contain him. And then, our guys in the back end will do a great job. Feel very confident in them. Staying locked on, and that's one of the keys that you always talk about to your defensive secondary guys is, hey, once the guy scrambles, you got to lock on your guy. It turns into man-to-man then. It's no more zone. It's all man-to-man then, and you got to stay locked on your guy.
Well, it's definitely going to be a great ball game this Friday night over at Evangel. I know everybody that can get over there. You need to come over there and watch this game in person. If you can't, you'll be able to watch it on the Neville Tiger Network. But as the Tigers always travel well, and nobody is expecting any different, go over there to Evangel and show them what that Neville tradition is being able to follow this football team on wherever they go. The kids appreciate it. The coaches appreciate it. And you need to make that short trip over to Shreveport and watch a great ball game to start off this season. But I failed to mention it early, but I'm going to do it real quick before we close out. Our fourth quarter sponsor is the good people there at the Carpenter Health Network, Shannon Newton and her team there at St. Joseph Hospice, At Home Health. We appreciate her and that group for their sponsorship of this program. Well, Coach, we reached the end. You made it through. The first one. We appreciate everybody that comes out here and all the sponsors that make this possible. We got a great crowd here at Melvin's. Not only Melvyn and Di and Annie and her crew here at Melvin's take care of us each and every Wednesday night. We encourage you to come out every Wednesday night during football season. Show starts at 6:30, and we'd like to see you here and share a bite with the Tigers here at Melvin's Restaurant. Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Stewart.
We appreciate
let me say this,
yes,
too, and we're very, very appreciative of our fans, number one. All our spirit groups who are tremendous, and they're tremendous supporters of ours, our cheerleaders, our Bingle Bells, our band, and we're very excited about all those people. But more importantly, too, that we're excited about all the sponsors that have sponsored the show and the Neville Tiger Network and contribute to the Neville Tiger nation. Period.
That's right. From everything. It takes a lot of people doing a lot of things to keep this puppy running, and we definitely appreciate all of you. Well said, Coach. All right, we're up against it, but I'd like to thank, like I said, everybody here, all of our sponsors. Justin back in the booth with Sunny 98.3, Will Anders for putting all the graphics and directing everything. And for Coach Collins, I'm Stewart Shelby saying good night from Melvin's. We'll be back on the air Friday night as Neville travels to Evangel. Stay tuned for that.